Hi everybody, how are you today? This is Nina with Yoga at the Cabildo and friends of the Cabildo. Hope everybody's doing okay. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. This is our episode 10 of just creating yoga practices for you to do at home while we ride out COVID-19. And once again, please remain vigilant. Please continue being true to yourself and protecting yourself and your family and your friends and keeping your social distancing. It's very, very important that we remain healthy during this time. They're stressful times, once again, very, very stressful times. I like to offer practices that help release stress throughout the body and the mind. Breathing is huge. A lot of times when we're under stress, we hold our breath, and that's not good. We need to continue breathing, nice, long, smooth breaths, and that will allow the body to remain calm, and it will also help clear the mind so you can make proper decisions and take care of your family and friends. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, this is our episode 10, and we're going to be working on our hip flexors a lot. Some of the poses might be a little challenging, but that's okay. You can just watch. Yoga's a journey, and we just continue practicing. Just continue practicing every day. This will help you just feel so much better and help you cope with all of these stressful times at the moment. So it's good. And then maybe you will, once this passes, you will continue practicing. It's amazing how it changes your life for the better. So once again, thank you so much for being a part of this. Let's inhale the arms out to the side, surround the body with peace and good health. And exhale the hands home to the heart center. Okay, so we're going to first do a little practice that I learned from a teacher in New Zealand. She was in Austin, Donna Fari. We use a ball. So this is first of all, you're gonna have your mat up against a wall. So I'm using this right here as a wall. So try to place your mat up against the wall because we will be using the wall for a couple of poses. This is a 7-inch ball that you can buy anywhere. It's an exercise ball. Okay, so go out and get one. Goodbye. And then what you're going to do is deflate the ball, 2/3 deflated, so it's very smashed. And we're going to place that ball underneath our hip flexor, and we're going to spend some time there. So what we're going to do is come to our bellies, place the ball underneath the crease of your hip, and you're going to stay here. And the teacher that I worked with recommended that we stay on each side for 7 minutes. So you're going to stay here. Normally my legs would be extended, but right now they're not because I don't have the space. So the leg is extended. I'm pressing into the ball. You can place your head down and take very long, deep breaths. Try to direct the breath into this side of the body. The leg is extended, and then after 3.5 breaths, you're going to bend the knee and come up high. And you're going to stay here for 3.5 minutes, okay? And this is a great way to release and create space in this area because we will be working in this area, so it's a nice warm-up. And then we're going to switch sides, do the other side. First you come down, the legs are extended, which I cannot do right now. And you're going to stay in this position for about 3.5 breaths, because she said a total of 7 minutes. And then you'll come up, flex the foot, sit tall. I've been using this ball for a few years now in my classes, and most of my students have a ball, they bring it to class, and they warm up on the ball because they know it makes them feel better. So definitely I recommend getting a ball and try this at home if you're tight in hip flexors. This is the area that we use to walk, run, sit down, stand up, I mean, these muscles are overused and we need to open up the area, especially that deep psoas muscle. It wraps around the front to the back of the body and it causes the hips to be very, very tight. What a great tool. And then you release and it feels just so amazing. Say goodbye to that. Let's sit back in child pose. Lengthen the spine. Breathing. So usually in this position, the feet are flat. This is a wonderful stretch for the tops of the feet. We're going to be using our feet today as well. So the feet are flat, the hips are close to the feet. If you cannot achieve this, you can put a blanket underneath your knees and sit back like this. You can also kneel on a blanket, or you could use paddings for your knees, or place behind your knees, or you can kneel on the padding, and you stretch out. You can also place the hands behind you and let the head release. This is a resting pose. You can always, always come into this pose during your practice. Right, this is called Vajrasana, sitting on the legs. We're gonna sit nice and tall. Can you interlace the fingers behind you? I'm gonna turn my body around and show it to you this way. Because it's an upper back bend, so we're gonna interlace the fingers and walk the knuckles down towards the earth. Lift your heart and gaze up. Open up your chest. That's your inhalation. Tuck the chin is your exhalation, coming back to center. 2 more times. The knuckles walk down towards the earth and you lift your body up and back and gaze up. So you're really opening up the chest, creating a nice upper back bend in the thoracic region. Come back to center. Let's do that one more time. Knuckles towards the earth. Inhale, lift your heart. Breathing in this position. Very nice. Tuck the chin, come back to center. Go back in child pose. Lengthen through the arms. Come into a table position. So with the hips close to the feet and the arms extended, it's a pretty good gauge for downward facing dog. Notice I didn't move my hands forward. Curl through the toes, inhale, exhale, up to go back. Spread the shoulder blades wide, draw the belly in, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This is your first downward facing dog. Breathing, press the knuckles flat. Notice there's not a lot of flexion in the wrist, so you're walking your thighs back and you're walking your sit bones up, thighs back. Spread the shoulders wide, the belly is engaged. The tailbone is gently walking towards the earth. So you're decompressing the lumbar region. Breathing into downward facing dog. And then let's sit back and go into child pose again. Draw the navel in, sit all the way back. Got that? Everybody okay? Don't forget to breathe. We never hold our breath. Without the breath, there is no yoga. Lengthen the arms, table position. Go back into your Adho Mukha Svanasana pose, downward facing dog. Breathing. Nice long spine. So if you can go up against a mirror, into a mirror, and look and check yourself out, you're making a capital upside down V. Just try to play with this by looking in a mirror, trying to achieve that nice long spine. You can soften the knees if you have to. Breathing. And then you're going to bend one knee and release the opposite heel down. Breathing like this. Inhale the heels up. Exhale the opposite heel down. Walk the thighs back. Breathing. Spread the shoulder blades wide. Press your knuckles flat. I'm trying not to put weight in my wrist. Breathing. Notice my ears are in line with the arms, so I'm keeping my neck nice and long. You can also release the head down. Inhale both heels up. Glue the sit bones to the sky. Slowly exhale the heels down. And then draw the belly in, sit back in child pose, exhaling. Let's do that one more time. Come to a table position. Curl the toes. Notice that my knees are soft. I'm not going into the pose with straight legs. it usually calls for a disaster. So you want to soften the knees. It's the fundamental principle of lengthening and opening the spine. Notice I'm lifting my hips up and back, way, way back. Then I start slowly releasing the heels towards the earth. Breathing. And then I'm going to do a little back bend. So watch this. I'm going to lift my heels up, lift my sit bones up, and I'm going to gently arch my back. That's your inhalation. And then on your exhalation, as the heels release down, the tailbone starts reaching towards the earth. I'm gently rounding through the lower back. I'm going to do that 2 more times. As the heels rise, the sit bones lift up. I'm gently arching my back. And then I'm going to exhale by drawing the tailbone. Look at my tailbone is going towards the earth and the heels release down. 1 more time like this. Inhale, lift. Sit bones lift up. I'm arching my back. It's a little back bend in downward facing dog. And then slowly, as the belly goes towards the spine, I'm going to release the tailbone down and the heels down. Breathing. Little turn of the head with the just to take tension out of the neck. Turn your head to the left and right. Come back to center, nod the chin a few times, making little subtle adjustments throughout the entire pose so you can really take your time and enjoy this pose. Breathing, and then sit back in child pose. Draw the belly in, sit back in child pose. Okay? Okay, let's do downward facing dog again, and then we're going to step the foot forward into a lunge. So from here, table position, curl to the toes. Notice my hips go up to go back. I went a little faster. And then I'm going to step my right foot forward and place my back knee down. Got that? The back foot is flat. My right knee is over the ankle. If your knee bothers you, that you're kneeling on, you can use a padding or a blanket, place it under the knee, okay? So I'm going to check in with my hips. I want to make sure that this right hip is not going back, because this is what's going to want to happen. I'm going to bring my hip forward, bring my outside hip back. Good. And then I'm going to bring my hands to the heart and inhale the arms up and back. So I'm achieving a nice back bend while I start working on my left hip flexors to stretch out this area. So first we worked on the ball, and that opened up the area. Now we're going to start doing some deep stretches in the area. Inhale up to go back. Fall back. And then slowly as you exhale the hands down, curl the back toes under, lift your knee up, and walk your hips back. And imagine you're creating a capital upside down V. Inhale, the heart rises. Exhale, fold forward. Soften the toes, all 10 toes pointing forward. You can always use blocks in this pose if you can't go down to the leg. This is perfectly fine. Or you can have the blocks lower. It's all good. And the head releases down. Breathing. Go back to the knee. Let's inhale the arms up again. Up. Now, as you move back, imagine your tailbones reaching slightly towards the earth. So you're lengthening your lower back. And then gently fall back. That's your inhalation. Breathing like this. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the breath soft while the body's under tension. And fall back. This time we're going to exhale the hands down. Sit your hips back. Flex the front foot. Straighten the leg, lift your heart, and gently fold forward. Once again, you can place your hands on blocks. All good. Breathing like this, engage the muscles of that right leg. The quads will stretch out the hamstring. Breathing. I notice that my body's shifting to this direction just a little bit, so I'm going to gently make a slight adjustment so I'm not shifting. Breathing like this.
Flex the foot, all 10 toes towards the body. I always see the big toe coming towards the body, and what's not happening is your inner thigh is just totally it's not happening. It's not stretching whatsoever. So you want to have the big toe and the little toe reach towards the body as you engage this leg. And then we're going to slowly come back to center again. And we're going to come up. All right. Make sure the back foot is in line with your ankle. So just turn your head and make sure the foot is in line with, the back foot is in line with your back knee. Okay? This is optional. We're going to lift the leg up. You do not have to do this. It's all good. Inhale the arms up and back. Find your pose. The knee is over the ankle. Lots of times the knee wants to walk back. It's over the ankle. And then on your inhalation, curl through the toes and lift the knee up. And the foot back. So the back leg is very active. My knee is over the ankle. My tailbone is reaching towards the earth. My chest is lifted and my heart is open. Breathing into a low lunge. Back leg is very active as if you're lifting through that back thigh up, way up. Breathing like this. Can you bring your hands to the heart? Maybe turn the body towards that bent knee. Place the elbow to the outside of the knee and twist. Breathing, turn your head. Breathing like this. If you cannot have the knee up, place it down. It's all good. Turn your head. Lift the back knee up. 2 more breaths. Take your time, come back to center. Straighten the leg. Pull forward again. Breathing. Once again, you can place your hands on your blocks. It's all good. Breathing like this. Go to the knee. Step the foot back. And let's do the other side. Rest in child pose. Table position. Curl through the toes. Inhale. Exhale up and back. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathing. Spread the shoulder blades wide. Breathing like this. Step the left foot forward, the opposite foot forward, place the knee down. Here we are. My knee is over the ankle. This is what we're working. This whole area is so tight. Breathing. The quadricep muscles and the psoas muscles and this entire area in the hip flexors. People suffer with this area a lot. Also that SI joint area, which is actually stretching on this opposite side. Breathing. Lift up and back. Once again, you can put a padding under your knee. If that's too much pressure on your knee, go back, fall back. And then exhale the hands down. Curl to the back toes. Lift your knee up and exhale, the body rocks back. So, imagine you're making a capital upside down V. Breathing like this. All 10 toes are pointing forward. I'm very slightly letting my back hip, this outer hip walk back. This hip is gently walking forward. I'm trying to keep my pelvis stable. Inhale, the heart rises. And exhale, fold forward. Breathing. Instead of letting the shoulders just hang forward like this, I'm bringing my shoulders, my upper arms into the shoulder sockets. Keeping them glued into the shoulder sockets like this. Did you see that? And then I fold deeper. Place the knee down. The top of the foot is flat on the mat. Come up again. The knee is over the ankle. Good. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift up and back. Whoa. Fall back. Big stretch. And this is such a tight area for so many people, especially if you like to run and do a long walking, anything. Just in general, it's a very tight area because we're flexing this area all the time, sitting down at your desk, sitting down on the couch. So now we're opening up this area. I know you know who I'm talking to. So So many people suffer with this area. Go back, way back, fall back. Whoa, yes. Exhale, the hands travel home. Curl the back toes under. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see now. We're going to place our hands down, and then we're going to gently sit our hips back and flex the foot. Once again, not just the big toe towards the body. The big toe and the little toe walk towards the body. The chest lifts, and we fold forward. Breathing. Engage. Once again, I notice my body is shifting towards this side. It's something that my body normally wants to do. So I'm going to bring my body over to the opposite side. Now my hips are in line, ankle in line with the hip. I'm going to lift my chest and fold forward. Little toe, big toe towards the body. Engage. Breathing like this. The chest is lifted as I fold forward. Breathing. Feels so good. Place the foot down. Make sure the knee travels right over the ankle. Turn your head to the right. Make sure your back foot is in line with your knee, because we're going to be bringing that leg up. Inhale the body up and back. Spread the toes wide. Fall back. Can you curl the toes under? Lift the knee up. Bring the heel back. Breathing. The leg is very active. If you're pulling your thigh up, lift. This might not be optional for some people. That's fine. You can stay with the knee down. It's all good. Breathing like this. Exhale. Bring your hands home to the heart. Lift your chest. Inhale. Now we're going to turn towards that bent knee. We're going to rotate. The knee, the elbow goes to the outside of the knee. I'm bringing my knee over the ankle. I'm twisting, hands to the heart, and I'm turning my head towards the wall behind me. Lift the back knee up. Breathing in this beautiful rotation. 3 more breaths. Notice how I'm rotating in my spine. Do you see that? Breathing for 2. Soften the face. Keep the breath smooth while the body's under tension. Good. Come back to center. Straighten the leg. Inhale, the heart rises. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Place the knee down. Step the foot back. Sit back in child pose. Everybody working? You got it? You feeling good? I hope so. Lengthen the arms, table position. Curl to the toes, down dog. So when you step that foot forward, I'm going to be stepping my right leg forward. You have to use momentum. It's not going to happen if you keep the shoulders back. The foot's not going to get there. So you have to use momentum to step the foot forward. So my shoulders, knee, ankle, all come forward at the same time. I'm placing the back knee down again, and here I am. And I'm going to take the blocks on the inside of this leg. I'm opening them up shoulder width apart. They're wide. And then I'm going to place my hands on the block. Got that? Big stretch right here. Big stretch in my left hip flexors once again. And then I'm going to slowly let my knee open out towards you. I see the base of my foot, and I'm sitting nice and tall. Breathe. Always making little baby adjustments throughout the body. Breathing like this. If it's available, maybe, notice how my blocks are nice and wide. You can come down to the elbows. If you're down here, I want you to distribute the weight equally in the elbows, so we're not totally like shifting to one side. Breathing. I see the base of my foot. This is a huge stretch, preparing for other poses. Our 3-legged dog pose, which we are working towards. Breathing. 3 more breaths. Place the foot down. Take your time and come up. You can use the block if you wish to, or not. And then what I'm going to do, so we're going to get a deep stretch in the back of this, front ankle and the Achilles area. But you have to move slowly because it's a very sensitive area, so you never want to rush this. Slide the foot towards the body about 10 inches. Root the foot and ever so slowly let your knee travel forward. And come up. You're pressing the heel down, the foot is flat. If the heel comes up, you need to step it forward a little bit. You've gone too far back. Now, slowly, so slowly, so carefully bring that knee forward. You're going to get a delicious stretch in the back of this leg. You will feel this. In the Achilles area, this area is so sensitive, so you need to move slowly. You're getting a deep stretch in your calves. Breathing like this. Just close your eyes and feel this area. Can you direct the breath into the back of the lower leg? Breathing. I'm getting a really deep stretch in my hip extensors. Breathing like this. This is the glute muscles. The piriformis muscle is such a tight muscle that so many people struggle with. In that SI joint area, I'm working that as well. Breathing. Take your time. Wow. Sit back in child pose. Breathing. Resting. Notice I did move my hands forward once again. I like to repeat myself. So this is just kind of like something that you just automatically think about. It's like your teacher is talking to you. Come to table position. Curl through the toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Breathing. Remember, you have to use momentum for the shoulder, for that foot. This outer foot is going to come forward. So you have to come forward with it. Did you see that? Place the knee down. Here we are. The top of the foot's flat on the mat. This knee is directly over the ankle. I'm going to grab my blocks and I'm going to place them shoulder width apart on the inside of this leg. I'm going to place my hands down. I want you to see this first. I'm going to roll this foot open. I'm trying not to sickle in my ankle. My knee is opened out to the side. I'm creating so much space in my inner groin region, inner thigh. I'm going to place my hands down. Breathing like this. It's getting toasty out here. Summer is here. Breathing. And then I'm going to slowly take my time and come down to my elbows. Distribute the weight equally in the elbows once again. Notice I'm not dropping my head down. I'm always thinking about keeping the neck nice and long and in line with the natural curves of the spine. So when prana enters the body, that's the in-breath, it goes in a nice smooth fashion. It's not interrupted with the neck totally flexed or hanging. So it just helps allow the breath to enter the body and occupy all those lovely spaces that we are currently creating. All those lovely spaces inside the body, creating internal equilibrium. Breathing like this, 3 more breaths. I feel this. I think you will feel it too. Breathing. Never rushed coming out of a pose. I'm going to slowly make my way back up. Place the foot down. I'm going to place one block on the outside of the leg. You can use a block if you wish to. And then I'm going to very, very carefully slide that front foot back about 10 inches. Spread the toes wide. And bring the knee forward. I am still working my hip flexors because we're about to use this area big time. The knee is traveling forward. My foot is flat on the mat. Breathing. I'm walking my knee forward. I'm keeping the foot down. If the heel comes up, you need to step your foot forward. You've gone too far. Close your eyes, and can you direct the breath behind that lower front leg, the back of the leg, the calf, the Achilles region. Breathing. 2 more breaths like this. Very nice. Take your time. Sit back in child pose. All right, how y'all doing? Okay, we're gonna do a little stretch for our feet. Interesting, I just met a woman yesterday at work. I'm a real estate agent when I'm not teaching yoga. And she was another agent that I worked with, and she says that her toes are stuck. I'm like, what do you mean by stuck? She said, they don't move. I can't flex my toes. I said, well, we need to work your toes, you know, so you just can't just kind of surrender to that and say, okay. It's kind of like, I'm no doctor, but, you know, sometimes people say that I have a frozen shoulder. They can't move their arm at all. I said, I don't think you're working hard enough to get that arm to go up. You know, so there's exercises that I've learned to work that, and this is one particular exercise that will definitely help flex your toes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, remember our mat is up against the wall. I'm curling through the toes, and my foot is flat on the wall. The base of my foot is totally flat on the wall. I'm going to do a great big step forward with my opposite foot, and then I'm going to bring the knee over the ankle. It's a big step. Okay, we can stay right here with the toes curled under and press that foot firmly into the wall, so you're up against the wall, or we're going to lift that leg up. So you can stay here. You can also put a padding under the knee. It's all good. Breathing. So it's a nice wide stance, and then we're going to take our time. I'm pressing my foot into the wall to inhale the leg up. Breathing. I'm walking my foot forward a little bit. Good. Breathing like this. Inhale the arms up and back again. Lift the knee up. I am totally curling through the toes. I hope you can see this. Breathing for 3 breaths. Fall back. Breathing like this. Once again, we are creating so much space in this region for 2. Fall back 1 more time. Exhale slowly. Oops. Slowly. Come down. Good. Switch sides. I'm going to come over. I'm going to curl through the toes. When you think about how much work we do with our feet, we need to keep our feet active. We need to stretch our feet out. It's our foundation. It's our foundation, period. So it's like we need to constantly do some exercises with our feet. Don't you think so? I'm sure some of y'all have some pretty big issues with your feet. They hurt. Definitely don't recommend wearing super high heels, but that's my opinion. Okay, knee is over the ankle. I'm stepping that foot forward. I know I need a nice wide stance. I'm pressing my foot firmly into the wall to inhale the leg up. I'm pressing the foot into the wall. My toes are curled under, and then I'm going to go back. Soften the toes. I want to make sure my knee is over the ankle. Breathing. I'm lifting the back knee up, and I'm falling back. You can always stay on your knee. The back knee can come down. 2 more breaths. I'm activating that leg. I'm lifting the thigh up. Breathing like this for 2. 1 more breath. And then take your time and come down. Wow. Step the foot back. Sit back in child pose. Okay, so once again, you can use blocks or a padding, but I'm going to show this to you in a different way because it just makes it easier. I'm going to curl my mat a couple of times, and I'm going to put my mat up against the wall. I'm using this as a cushion, so you could put a padding here or not. I'm just curling my mat for fun. I don't know, maybe this isn't a good idea. You might not be able to see my knee too well. Okay, never mind. Let's get that padding. You can use a padding if you wish. You can place it right here, or a blanket. I'm not going to use anything. I'm going to place this outer leg. The knee is going to be right up against the wall. Notice my shin is totally lined up against the wall. The top of the foot is flat on the wall. I'm going to very carefully step this opposite foot forward. Whew. I already feel that stretch. I'm trying to bring my knee back a little bit. Hold on. Right up against the wall. There you go. Wowzy. Let's just say that we wouldn't start our practice in this pose. We need a lot of preparation to get to this point. My knee is over the ankle. This is a huge stretch in my quadricep muscles. Breathing, I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm trying to release the tailbone towards the earth, and then I'm going to inhale my arms up. And just for fun, I'm going to bend my elbows back, as if I'm taking my foot. So you can put a strap around the foot. Ooh. Breathing like this, lift your chest, gaze up. So you can take the strap around the foot and then hold the strap with your hands, or if your hands can take the foot, that's great. Breathing. Nobody's winning any awards in this class. Breathing for 3 more breaths. Wowzy. Working right here. Big time. We need this. Breathing. 2. Elbows in, going back a little more. There's a nice little back bend. And I'm going to bring this front foot back just a little bit to release this knee. Did you get that? Pretty crazy, huh? It's okay. You can play with it. This is a journey. Everybody's on different levels, and certainly. Is that advanced? It just depends on your body. Okay, what we're going to do is place the opposite knee up against the wall. My foot is flat. I'm stepping the opposite foot forward. What I want to see is my knee over the ankle. And I'm going to come up. Whoa. This side feels totally different. Soften the tailbone as you lift your chest. I need to come up higher. I'm pressing my foot up against the wall. I hope you can see this. My shoulders are forward. Then I'm going to inhale the arms up. I want my knee over the ankle. This will give me more support. And I'm going to exhale and bend my elbows as if I'm taking my foot and I'm moving back a little bit more for 3 breaths. Look up. Can you keep the breath soft while the body's under tension? Fall back. Wow. Step the foot back. Come out of the pose. Sit back in child pose. How's that? Okay, so we're building towards 3-legged down dog, and this is pretty cool. That's why I have the camera turned in a vertical position so you can see my foot, which is going to be up against this wall, and it's going to be in internal rotation. Okay, so this is internal rotation. This is external rotation. You can see my foot, external rotation. So a lot of us are in external rotation, which is okay, but it's kind of normal for us to want to sit like this, or if you've done a lot of ballet and dancing in your life, internal rotation is a little bit more natural for the body. So we're going to work on that with Adho Mukha Svanasana in the 3-legged pose, okay? No biggie. This time, so I'm up against a wall. I'm using this piece of wood as a wall. My toes are on the wall. The tips of my toes are on the wall. I'm going to sit back in child pose, and I'm going to lengthen through the arms to prepare. Breathing. Got that? And then I'm going to come into a table position. My legs are together. I'm trying to imagine that I have a nice long spine. I'm not dropping my head and rounding the back. I'm drawing my shoulder blades slightly together as I draw the belly in. I'm imagining that my clavicle, the collarbone, is spreading nice and wide. I want to create so much space in my upper body. On my inhalation, I will curl through the toes. And on my exhalation, my toes are together. I'm going to lift up and back. And notice how my heels are supported right now. This is a supported down dog. If you're up against the wall, your feet can be hip distance apart or together. In this particular pose, I have my feet together. Breathing. Find your pose. Breathing like this. And then I'm going to inhale my right leg, that's the leg closest to you, up. And curl through the toes. And this is your three-legged down dog. Notice I'm in external rotation. I'm bringing my hip down. My upper toes are pointing straight down, and now I am in internal, not external rotation, internal rotation with the toes pointing down. Spread the shoulder blades wide. Lengthen the spine. Breathing like this. I'm lifting the back knee up, keeping my leg very active. If you can go deeper, walk your hands about 3 inches closer to the body, and maybe you can lift your leg a little higher and go into the pose this way. Breathing. The leg is active. You have to keep thinking about that because the leg wants to get slapped on you. So straighten out the leg. Toes pointing straight down into your three-legged downward facing dog pose. If you think you can go deeper, now remember we stretched out the Achilles and the heels. This is to prepare for this pose. You have to move very, very slowly. Bend that knee, that supported leg knee, and you're going to very, very carefully hop it forward an inch or two and place the heel down. Wow. Breathing like this for 3 breaths. I'm making baby adjustments throughout my whole body, creating space throughout my entire body. I'm focusing on a very soft breath. I'm keeping my neck soft. Breathing like this. 1 more deep breath. The back leg is lifted, the shoulders are spread wide, and then I am going to slowly release and sit back in child pose. Whew. How'd you like that? Breathing. Lengthen the arms. Once again, you can place the hands behind you and let the head release. This will give you a nice, just kind of relaxing the shoulders because we've been doing a lot of work in the upper arms and the shoulders. Okay. So you want to make sure your toes are up against the wall, right? It's the tips of my toes touching the wall. And I'm going to, oh, I'm really sweating out here today. I'm going to sit back in child pose with the tips of my toes on the wall. Table position, curl through the toes, inhale, supported down dog. Make little adjustments. So it's the fundamental principle of lengthening and opening the spine. The spine is long. With your heels up against the wall, this is kind of cool. It just gives you a little bit more support so you can really work yourself into this pose and make little corrections and feel the pose and feel the wonderful benefits of this pose. With the head down, the blood is rushing towards the brain. This is extremely detoxing for the brain. Okay, so from this position, I'm going to inhale that opposite leg up and curl through the toes. My toes are pointing straight down. I'm not in external rotation. My upper leg is in internal rotation. Got that? I'm lifting the knee up. I'm breathing through the nose. I'm focusing on a soft breath while the body's under tension, bringing the qualities of Sthira and Sukha together. A soft breath and a firm, active body. Breathing. Now, if I wish to go deeper, I'm going to walk my hands forward about 3 inches, climb that back leg up against the wall. Good. Now, much deeper in the pose. Walk my chest towards my feet, open the shoulders, breathe. Lift the back knee up. It started going slack on me again. Breathing like this into your 3-legged down dog with a supported foot. If you wish to go deeper, soften the knee. And so gingerly, I want you to hop the foot forward and place the heel down. This is optional. Breathing for 3 breaths. And then I'm going to slowly release. And slowly, I'm going to grab a block. Place my forehead down. And rest. Okay, that teacher that I talked about, Donna Fowry, I learned this the last time I went to see her in Austin. She's a therapeutic yoga teacher, so she's definitely a master teacher. So let's see now. I just want to make sure you see me. You might not see my entire body. I think I'm going to turn my body around this time. And I'm going to come into child pose. And then I'm going to come into a table position. My knees are together. I'm going to have my hips and my head go to my right side. So I'm doing a lateral stretch. It's as if my spine is making a capital C. And then I'm going to come to center. And I'm going to go to the opposite direction. So I'm walking my waistline to the back. My hips and my head is going towards you. And then I'm going to do it again. She calls this just become a fish, like you're swimming in the water. Breathing. Nice little way to open up the spine, the outer spine. Doing nice little laterals. Okay, you might not totally see me here. I'm going to inhale. This is a great way to stretch out your the piriformis muscle. And once again, like all poses, this might not be for you, especially if you have sensitive knees. I'm going to inhale my right knee behind my right wrist, and then I'm going to slide my foot to the outside, and then I'm going to sit back. Do you see that? And lengthen the arms. This feels so good. And then I'm going to inhale the knee to the wrist, same wrist. And then you're not going to see this, but I'm going to exhale that leg straight back, curl through the toes, and stretch out. So my back leg is extended, my toes are curled under, and I am reaching. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do it 2 more times. I'm going to inhale the knee to the wrist. I'm going to slide that foot to the outside of the leg and sit back, way back, all the way back. So you can always put a padding under this knee. Breathing. Inhale the knee to the wrist. I'm going to exhale that leg straight back. You don't see the leg, but the toes are curled under, and I'm reaching and lengthening. Last time like this. Inhale. Exhale, and stay back. Breathing. So I feel this on both sides of my outer hips, my hip extensors, and it really feels awesome. Breathing like this, and last time the knee will travel to the wrist, And I will curl through the toes. The leg is extended all the way back. Breathing. And then come to center. I'm going to turn the body up, so that was my right leg. I'm going to turn the body, oh no, I'm going to stay here. Talking to myself. Breathing, lengthen through the arms, come to table position. This time I'll do the opposite side. I'm going to inhale my left knee to my left wrist. I'm going to slide that foot to the outside of that supported leg, and I'm going to sit back. Okay, once again, the piriformis muscle is a huge stretch in this region, and it feels really, really good. Breathing. And then inhale the knee to the wrist. Exhale the leg straight back. I'm curling through the toes. You do not see the leg, but it is extended. My toes are curled under, and I'm reaching that back leg way back. Inhale to the elbow. Exhale to the outside, and sit back. Breathing. Last time like this, inhale, knee to elbow, knee to wrist, I'm sorry. Oops. I'm going knee to wrist. Exhale the leg straight back. Stretch it out. And last time, inhale. Exhale to the outside of the leg. Sit back. Breathing like this. Wow. That IT band, if you're dealing with sciatica problems, what a wonderful stretch. Breathing, SI area. Breathing like this for 2 more breaths. Inhale the knee to the wrist. Exhale the leg straight back, curl through the toes. Breathing. So this is what it looks like when I curl through the toes, just so you can see. I go straight back, and I'm curling through the toes like this. Okay? So that's what it looks like with the leg extended. All right, sit back in child pose. And sit up. Everybody good? I hope you're enjoying this practice. We're going to shift to one hip. And slowly take your time. Draw the belly in, articulate the spine down slowly. Draw the knees into the chest. That is a chicken laying an egg. I know that noise very well. I'm going to open up my feet mat width, arms out to the side, and then I'm going to let my legs float to one direction. Come back to center, float to the opposite direction. Come back to center, float to that first direction, and then this outer foot is going to go on top of that thigh, not on the knee. Oh yeah, oh boy. And that was Pierre Henry, the peacock. Okay, let's come back to center. Let's do the opposite side. Exhale to one direction. Inhale up. Exhale to the opposite direction. Inhale up and float to the first direction to the left. This outer foot is going to go on top of the thigh. If I look up, this leg is in line with my hip. My knee and my hip are in line, midline. Then I'm going to place the foot on top of the outer thigh, not on the kneecap. There you go. Oh yeah. Breathing. And then I'm going to release. going to hug the knees into the chest. I'm going to place my feet down. I'm going to lift my hips up, and I'm going to scoot them over to the left just a little bit, like an inch. And place the hips back down, cross the right knee over the left. And I'm going to inhale the legs up. So this goes more into the mid-back, lower mid-back. And then I'm going to float the legs to the right side very slowly. Breathing like this. You can inhale that arm overhead, reaching with the palm facing up and turn your head. Breathing for 3 breaths. Take your time, always take your time coming out of a rotation. I'm going to scoot my hips back to the right. I'm going to bring my knees back into the chest. The feet are down. I will lift my hips up and scoot them 1 inch towards you to the right and place my hips down. This is just a little spinal adjustment before going into a rotation. I'm crossing my left knee over the right knee, draw the knees into the chest, and ever so slowly float. Don't flop. The legs to the left. Move slowly. Oh yeah, that's an exhalation. And if you wish, you can extend that opposite arm overhead with the palm facing up. And you get a nice, delicious stretch throughout the entire side of the body. While we're rotating in the spine, turn your head, breathing like this. Take your time, release the cross of the legs, come back to center. Bring the hips back to center. Bring the knees to the chest. Give yourself a great big virtual hug. Giving thanks to your beautiful, perfect, imperfect, unique body. And then we'll prepare for Shavasana. I saw a bug earlier. I don't want any bugs in my hair. Okay, we're going to lengthen the arms. Okay, you don't see my legs, but they're floating out to the sides like this when in Shavasana. And this will help allow the hips to open up. Okay? So I'm going to come back here. So the toes are floating out to the side. And you're making little corrections throughout the whole body, little baby corrections, so that you're not gripping onto any tension in the body. That's the first thing you want to do when you go into Shavasana. You want to make little subtle adjustments, little internal adjustments, so the body is balanced. Let the eyelids cover the eyes. The eyeballs are receding deep into the skull and focusing on the heart center. I'm walking the back of my head toward the wall behind me, just behind me, to lengthen the back of the neck. So I have no creases in the back of the neck right now. Nice and long spine. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. I'm going to roll my upper arms into the back gently to lift my heart, and then surrender the heart back down. So now I'm nice and broad across the chest so that I can fill my lungs and fill the entire upper body with the beautiful breath, and surrender into Shavasana. Breathing through the nose. And once you complete with Shavasana, you can stay for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 15 minutes. Just don't take a nap. I want you to be totally aware. Draw the knees into the chest. Move very slowly. Roll to the right side. Move very slowly. You never want to rush the body coming out of Shavasana because you disturb the central nervous system. You want to stay calm. And then you're going to support yourself to come up into Sukhasana. The head is last to come up. So you want to move very slowly. into Sukhasana, a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Lift your heart. Sit nice and tall, close your eyes. Focusing on kindness and compassion, especially to yourself. Inhale the arms out to the side, surround the body with peace and good health. And exhale the hands home to the heart's center. Namaste. Thank you.